Hello, everybody, and welcome to day 8 for Alchemy of Fear. And today is a very special day because my friend Jess, who's in the UK, is here live on the call. Hi, Jess.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm good. I had a nap earlier. I was very tired, and it was really nice just to have a bit of a nap. And I was actually wondering what I was going to talk about today when I got your message. So I'm really glad you've been willing to come and do this live, because this is what this is about, you know, using the possibilities for connection. So it must be, is it
Thank you for
lunchtime
being
there?
there for me. It is. It's 1:30. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just a little bit dark here. So hopefully the reflection isn't too bad, but I've got a new toy just here, new microphone. So hopefully the audio is coming through nice and clear. And I'm really looking forward to having this time to connect with you. I met Jess a few summers ago. Is it okay if I share?
Of course.
Yeah, so Jess and I are both in the boating community, and Jess and a partner were running, or I don't know if they still maybe are running, or will be running again, these amazing vegan pizzas.
I hope so.
And sourdough bread, and it was a favorite of mine to drop past there and get a delicious pizza. So that's how we first met, and we've just reconnected, I guess, haven't we, Jess?
Yeah.
So I think probably the easiest way to do this is for me not to explain too much. If anyone wants a brief video explaining the work, I've done a separate video which is on YouTube and Instagram. But I just think this is a perfect chance for us to actually do some of this alchemy, for me to guide you through the questions and you know, to see what unfolds and be just really open to it. It is a system of inquiry. There's no right answers. It's just about taking a look at what's going on the inside and how that relates to what's going on in your world. So how's that sound? Should we jump in and get started?
Sounds good. Yeah, sounds great. Yeah.
Brilliant. So the first step of the work is always to identify the thought that goes with the stressful sensation. So what's the stressful belief? What's the story? So how have you gone with that? Have you got something for us to work with?
I have. I just took your little "I'm afraid that ... wrote just a few quick sentences down.
Great.
I sort of started to spiral into a bit of panic after watching a video yesterday that somebody had sent me. It was the ex-Vodafone boss talking about the rollout of 5G and coronavirus and the link between the two. Then obviously going in towards the New World Order and things that I've already read about over the past few years, but it suddenly felt like it was all happening right now. And I've also just had a baby, 10 months ago. So I'm feeling very heightened anxiety. And So it's
So just before we go any further, I just wanted to acknowledge, you know, that this experience, why it's so powerful that we can talk, because I know of many friends that I've sent stuff to, and they've experienced constriction and you know, that experience. So, you know, if you're watching this and you resonate with this, just give a little wave or say, yeah, I've had that experience too. And I'm sure you're aware that a lot of people are feeling these kind of intense energies with the information that that's coming to us of this is happening or this is not happening or whatever it may be. So it's nice to have the context. And so, you know, we can use these little prompts with the work. If it's about another person, someone should do this or someone shouldn't do this. But Jess, I think you've been working with this starting phrase of "I'm afraid that." And so what have you got so far? Could you just read what you've written exactly how it is?
So I've just written five or six sentences. I'm afraid that I'm going to have vaccines imposed on me and my family.
Yeah, I'm just going to write these down because then it helps me to. Vaccines imposed, yeah.
I'm afraid that my baby is going to suffer in the future from all the things.
Yeah.
I'm afraid that our freedom has been taken away and is going to be even more. I'm afraid of 5G. I'm afraid that 5G is genocide.
Yep.
I'm afraid that we're not going to be able to make any money to survive currently. And I'm also further down the line, I feel afraid that we'll be banned from connecting with nature and people. And, you know, that's sort of like my mind spiraling to, my God, what's going to happen in the future after what is happening now, kind of thing.
Yes.
So that's what I've got so far.
Yeah, this is perfect. It's so clear. And yeah. So what you've done there is great, because you've identified a few different beliefs, and the beliefs go together to make a story. And we're just going to have a little look and see how that is. And there's no expectation. We just see how that is. So could you read the first one again, just exactly how you've written it?
So I'm afraid they are going to impose vaccines upon us.
Is that where you'd like to start, or is there one of them that's particularly charged that you'd like to go for? Which one of them fills you with that spike of energy or anxiety the most?
Well, I think the one that always has, since when I got pregnant, I found out about 5G, and I've been researching it for probably about a year or two, a year and a half or something like that.
Yeah.
And that has filled me with fear since I found out about it. I thought, my God, the rollout of 5G could be the demise of the human race from the moment I started reading about it. So that one is the most charged for me, because I feel like that is the root of all of the other things.
Yeah.
That's frightening me at the moment.
Okay, so 5G could be the demise of the human race. Yeah. So let's go through it. First of all, Jess, is it true that 5G could be the demise of the human race?
From what I've read and see, the things that I've seen certain scientists and people talk about, in my mind, it could be.
So is that a yes?
I suppose so, yeah.
Yeah, there's no right or wrong here. It's just to say, you know, just to bring it to a yes or a no. 5G could be the demise of the human race. So is it true? Yes. Are you going with a yes? Yeah. Can you absolutely know it to be true that 5G could be the demise of the human race?
I personally don't know much about it personally. So I'm only going with what I've been told.
So what feels true to you? And it's not, you don't have to, you know, it's just a yes or no. It's okay either way. Can you absolutely know it to be true that
no, well,
5G
absolutely,
is the demise of the human race?
Absolutely 100% no, because I don't know if what I've been told is absolutely correct.
Sure, sure. Thank you.
I suppose.
Yeah. So we're going to go into the third question now. So just let me know if there's any issues with the internet, and I will come up with a little workaround. It's just a little glitchy.
It is jumping a little bit.
Is it jumping a little? We might.
It is a little.
I'm going to start the other. I'm just going to mute this one.
Can't hear you. I can't hear you.
That's okay. I've just done a bit of a mute there.
Okay.
It's horrible if we have the audio coming through both. So, how is that just now, Jess? Is that any clearer for the audio?
I actually think it was clearer before.
Hang on a second.
Oh,
now,
no,
how
I
do
can
I hear you? Let's try. I'm thinking on my feet just a little bit here. going to plug in my headphones, and hopefully this will allow us to hear each other a bit easier. For some reason, my new computer is overheating a bit, so thank you for your patience. How's that now, Jess? Can you hear me okay there?
Yeah, loud and
Brilliant.
clear.
Brilliant. Okay, so we're back. So let's just recap. So the belief we were working with was 5G could be the demise of the human race. And I mean, I know there's going to be a lot of people who are feeling that too. So this is a really powerful bit of work. Is it true? Yes. Can you absolutely know it to be true? No. How do you react? What happens when you believe the thought that 5G could be the demise of the human race?
My fear, my heart starts to pound. I feel absolutely terrified. I go into a feeling of terror and just feel hopeless. It's a terrible feeling.
Yeah. And so you said you feel it in your heart. You feel your heart rate come up. What other sensations do you feel in your body when you believe the thought that 5G could be the demise of the human race?
Gosh, my stomach goes into a knot. I feel nauseous. I feel panicky. It's a terrible feeling.
Yeah. And how do you live your life when you're believing the thought that 5G could be the demise of the human race?
Oh, I don't know. How do you mean?
Well, just going about everyday tasks, you know, going about your life, doing what needs to be done, taking care of things that need to be taken care of. Like, just how is it? Do you notice a difference? How is it?
Yeah. I just feel very stressed out. Communication's difficult with the people.
Yeah.
So that's difficult. I feel like I'm trying to protect my baby. So I bought an EMF reader that I take around because I want to know how bad it is. But it definitely causes strains on relationships. It's hard for my husband when I'm like, I'm freaking out about 5G. And he's like,
so how do you relate with your husband? How do you communicate with your husband when you're feeling the fear and you're believing 5G could be the demise of the human race? How do you relate with Al when you're believing that?
It's difficult. It's very tense between us because obviously he can see my fear, and so he doesn't want to sort of talk about that because, you know, otherwise he says, well, we're just hopeless then, and what are we going to do? We might as well have a suicide pact right now if that's the case, you know. And I can totally understand his point of view, you know. So I'm trying to
so you
let go of that.
Yeah, okay. So it's okay. We're just looking at what's there and noticing the tendencies. So could we look at that a little bit more closely? What specifically do you do in the communication with Al? Are you do you find yourself being needy, or I don't want to put words in your mouth at all, but how are you towards him? Just taking it back to your, not how it is for him, just how is it for you when you believe the thought? How do you communicate with him? How do you treat him?
Yes, I suppose I want him to, you know, support me. I need him to listen to my fear.
Yeah. Okay.
So I am needy, I suppose. In that aspect, I feel like I need support and to be heard, because I feel like I just need someone to support me, to hear me.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah. Thank you. So, whose business is it whether 5G is the demise of the human race? Is it your business?
I think
Other
it's
people's business? It's everyone's business. Okay, so we want to get a little bit clearer. So let's see if we can figure out which aspects of this are your business, which are other people's business, and which is God's business. So the fact that such a thing as 5G exists, whose business is that?
All of us.
Mm-hmm.
Do you mean
so?
Who should know about it?
Okay, so let's just start with, say, the fact that it exists, let's just pause that for a second, okay? And let's just look at an issue that may be like less charged, so we can just get the hang of these businesses. So the fact that cars exist in the world, whose business is that?
Oh,
whose business is it? Is it your business, other people's business, or the God's business that cars exist in the world?
I don't really know. Sorry, Dunstan.
Oh, it's okay. There's no need to apologize. It's like it's this is what we're doing. I could be a bit funny. That's okay. No, that's okay. We could say it's Henry Ford's business because he invented the car.
Yes.
Did you invent the car?
No.
Right. So the fact that cars exist, it's not your business.
Yeah.
The fact that there exist Tesla cars on the planet, we could say that's Elon Musk's business, or someone who invented them's business. Now, we could say that consciousness got to a point where we wanted to travel around a bit faster than walking or getting on a horse. So we could say that, you know, technology is, I mean, is it one person? Is it the powers that be? It could be their business. It could be God's business.
Yeah.
Either way, it's something that it's not your business that this thing exists. It's not your doing.
No, of course. I thought you meant, is it your business to know about it, kind of thing.
Okay, great. So whose business is it? Great. So whose business is it whether you choose to educate yourself?
Yeah, my business.
That's your business, isn't it?
Yeah.
Whose business is it how you choose to communicate with other people about that?
Yeah, my business.
And whose business is it what decisions you make around with your daughter, you know, in this situation?
Absolutely, yeah, my business.
Yeah. Now, whose business is it how the other person responds to you sharing that information?
Yeah, their business.
Nice. We're getting the hang. Yeah. It's a bit like that idea of playing your own side of the net. So, you know, what you do is your business. How other people respond, you know, if there's people in your network or in your family that just, they either look at you like you're crazy, or they don't want to hear you, or they say, oh, you can go and put your tinfoil hat on, or whatever weird stuff people come back at you with. That's their business.
Yeah. Oh yeah, so, I really appreciate that tennis analogy that you did the other day.
Yeah, I got it from one of my mentors. It's a good one. So it's all about, you know, we talked about playing on our own side of the net. Now, Byron Katie says pretty much the same thing, but she says being in your own business, because anytime you are out of your business, it causes stress. So people are how they are. And if you need them to be different, you've just created a world of suffering for yourself.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree.
So if you've got a dog and you want the dog to meow, you are crazy. Because dogs mostly go woof. Yeah. So this is about coming back to you and being in your business.
Yeah. I've learned a lot from you, from your last videos actually, about this, because like you said, there are a lot of keyboard warriors out there. And it is very tempting when you see something that you resonate so true with you, and you think, oh my God, I want to share this. And if only you could see this, we could change things together. But of course, they're seeing it from their point of view. So I have learned a lot already just from the last few videos that you've done. So thank you.
Oh, thanks for saying. I'm glad. I'm really glad. Yeah. It's, you know, I love how there's so many people at this time, just pausing the work for a moment. This time is a great catalyst. There are so many people at this time that are awakening to things, or are discovering things, or opening up in new ways, and for me, it just comes back to, are we willing to do our inner work, which is to come back to our sovereign space where we're powerful and where we are, you know, not weakening ourselves by putting our focus and energy on all sorts of things that are terrifying, or, you know. So this is about bringing our resources, reclaiming them back for ourselves. And yeah, I'm so excited we're doing this work, because it is my absolute favorite for this.
I've been really interested in it. I wasn't quite sure about the worksheet you sent me. I wasn't sure how to go about doing it. So thank you for doing this.
it's so helpful having someone show you the first time, to walk you through it.
Yes.
So, so, and if anyone's watching this, if you haven't already done so, just pause this and write down your own stressful beliefs, whether you're, stressed that your neighbor who's going out exercising 5 times a day, neighbor Joe, and Joe, Joe shouldn't be risking other people's lives because he's going out. Some people might believe that. Some people might believe that, this is a total overreaction. It's not for me to agree or disagree with anyone else's. It's like, what is the belief that's causing someone stress? So let's jump back into this. So 5G could be the demise of the human race. And we're looking at how you respond when you believe that thought. So does this thought bring peace or stress to your life when you believe that 5G could be the demise? Yeah, it's a stressful belief. Yeah. Let's take a few breaths. And I'm just curious, what is the benefit of holding on to this belief, this stressful belief? What's the payback?
Oh, I suppose there isn't any, only that I can try to maneuver our family and our boat to a place where there isn't a 5G mast. Just try, but apart from that, believing it doesn't help me at all, because I feel incredibly powerless and upset.
Thank you. So powerless and upset. And are you better or worse able to deal with those decisions of, being aware of where there might be a mask, making the decisions to move because, as we can probably see in the video, you're on a boat and you have the fortune to be able to move your boat. If you don't like one place, you have some freedom to be able to move the boat, which is beautiful. So do you feel better or worse able to make those decisions when you're believing this stressful thought that 5G could be the demise of the human race?
Oh, much worse.
So that doesn't seem to be a payback so far. It doesn't seem to help with that.
No.
Okay. Do you? I'm just wondering because this is the shadow work, because there's always a benefit from believing something, and it may not be a functional benefit. It may not be something that's actually really helpful. But for example, if you're born into let's say, that story, do you know that fable about the traveller who goes to stay with a family and the daughter goes down to the cellar to fetch a bottle of wine and doesn't come back, and then they send the next daughter and she doesn't come back, and then the third daughter, and then I'm telling you the brief version, the mother goes down, the father goes down, and eventually the guest is sitting there saying, well, where are these people that are hosting me, these strangers that are hosting me? And he goes down in the cellar and they're all in the corner crying. And he says, oh, hi, what's going on? And the father says, well, what happened is that we sent our eldest daughter came down here, and then she saw that there was an axe on a shelf, and she thought, well, what if one day one of us would have a son or a child, and they would come down here and the axe would fall on their head and kill them, and it would be so terrible. And she became inconsolably stricken with grief. So then the second daughter came down to find the first daughter and saw her crying, said, oh, what's wrong? And the second daughter found out that, the first daughter told the second daughter about what could happen with the axe. And the second daughter also became full of grief and sadness and just was crying. And then the third daughter came down, and you can see where this is going, So they've all heard this story about the axe that could fall on the child, and they thought it was so sad and terrible that they're all down there crying.
God. Yeah.
So what is the payback for believing? I mean, we know that's it's an example. We can see that story is not particularly useful, and maybe someone could have just reached up and taken the axe down and put it on the floor. But what's the payback to those people in that situation? What's the payback for the second sister? Well, maybe she was a very compassionate person and she cared for her sister and wanted to feel that bond and had that sort of natural connection. Maybe she was a twin. Maybe there's that natural connection with her sister. So the payback was she got to be in rapport with her sister. Right. And by the time the mum and the dad go down there, what's the payback for them of believing the stressful thought that the axe could fall on someone's head? Well, the payback is they get to be in rapport. They get to be in connection.
Yeah.
And your daughter,
Yeah.
it's a daughter, isn't it, you have? Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so your little girl's at that stage where she's emotionally bonding with you. And so she will, and this is why it's, I've got another friend who's a mother in Bath of like a 7-year-old boy. And it's such a powerful time for us to lead by who we are with kids, because they can tell, they can feel things.
Mm-hmm.
So, and this is why it's so powerful that we're doing this work. So
yes.
What is the payback for you believing that 5G could be the demise of the human race?
For me, oh gosh. Well, there isn't really, because it's
not one that makes sense, right?
Not one that makes sense. Because yes, it's just it must cause stress to my little girl because she can feel it.
So let's look at this. So you believe the thought, you feel powerless.
Mm-hmm.
Is there some payback in that? I mean, this is deep work. So let's just go slowly. Is it possible? And please just be totally honest. Is it possible that there's some payback in feeling powerless, because then you can be like, well, there was nothing I could do.
Perhaps, I don't know. I mean, not consciously.
Exactly. Yeah, it's not conscious. It's not functional. So, and if something comes to you in the next few days, that there may be something that comes to you, and you just realize at some point, actually, it could be like, I know a lot of conspiracy. I'm definitely not putting you in this category, but I know a lot of conspiracy theorists love to share the information because they feel powerful, because they maybe know something that other people don't know. And despite the fact they'll share it with their family freaks out. Their family unfriends them on Facebook. Their family doesn't want to talk to them. So it didn't work out too well. But, they maybe felt they were powerful because they had some knowledge or wisdom. Or they maybe felt they were trying to help. Maybe the payback was they felt they were trying to save their fellow human.
Yes,
Or they felt they were trying to actually do something about the problem by being, by. So,
well, that's
this comes up for a lot of guys.
Yeah, no, absolutely. When I've shared things, and I don't do it anymore. I don't share anything on Facebook or anything.
But you share it with yourself, yeah? You share it with yourself. You believe in yourself 5G could be the demise of the human race.
Yeah.
So it could be you feel like you're doing your part or whatever. There's the human psyche is, there's always, when you dig in deep enough, there's always a reason. We're not stupid. We don't just go around thinking, oh yeah, I'll believe that stressful belief because I'm a masochist.
Yeah.
There's always some kind of little shadow thing we think, oh, if I have that belief, then, and it's totally okay if that's not clear right now, but we got a little bit of a sense of it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I can't see that right now what it could be.
It's okay.
I can't.
Yeah, it's okay. You have a lot of clarity and you're not feeling 100% clear.
Yeah.
And it may or may not, something may or may not reveal itself. It's a very tricky little question. It's a deep inquiry there. So let's just do a quick recap. So 5G could be the demise of the human race. So the physical things that you experienced were the heartbeat increasing, feeling anxious, feeling a knot in your stomach, maybe feeling helpless, powerless to take care of your daughter as a mother, finding it harder to make the decisions that need to be made, maybe feeling a bit needy around your partner, and needing him to be able to hear you when maybe he isn't or can't or doesn't. And the payback could be that somehow you feel that you're doing the best you can or something like that. Here's a question for you. What are you afraid would happen if you didn't have this belief? What are you afraid would happen if you didn't believe that 5G could be the demise of the human race?
I guess I'm afraid that it still could be, but I wouldn't put us in a safe place or something.
That you might not do, that you might not be taking it seriously, or you might
accidentally moor up next to a mast and expose your family.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you know, because
Yeah.
I've read children absorb 60% more radiation than adults. So I think I'm so worried
And they're
about
growing.
my baby.
Yes.
And that's
Yes.
what it is. It's like I must protect her, you know.
Yes.
That's what
Yes.
the belief is.
So
I think
could
that if
be,
I didn't have a baby,
if
sorry.
you didn't have the belief that you might not do, yeah, you're saying it. Go ahead. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well, yes. If I didn't have my baby, I might not be as frantic about it.
We don't know. But what
know.
was just clear in what you said, right? I mean, that's maybe or maybe not. But what was very clear in what you said was that if you didn't have the belief, the fear is that you might not be doing your best job to take care of your family.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
So that there is your motivation for having the belief. You know, it's like with this belief, it's like, can you feel the energy around that just now? I've got like goosebumps in my body. So with this belief, the payback is you feel you can take better care of your family when you believe this thought. Makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Just feel the energy of that desire to take care of your family, do the right thing and make the right decisions, especially as a mother of a young child.
Yeah.
And how does that work? How does that work out? Does it, you know, the belief that, you know, it's like, if I believe this, I'll take better care of my family. Does it work? How's that going for you?
Well, so far, you know, we've been moored up in Oxford where there hasn't been 5G. We were in Reading before that where there was, and I didn't want to be there because of it.
Yeah.
So maybe, you know,
let's just be really specific. Yeah. So let's just be really specific. So when you believe, what you said is that when you believe the story, where you believe this thought that 5G could be the demise of the human race, that you feel anxious, knotted, you're worse at communicating, you feel less able to take care of the day-to-day jobs with the boat. And for anyone not living on a boat, there's extra work to do on the boat. So you said with the belief, you feel less able to take care of all those things, and you described all sorts of other things. So how's it working out?
Well, with the belief, if I hold on to the belief, it's not a good thing. It would be better probably to not believe it.
So is it possible that you could do maybe an even better job of, you know, the practical things, the communication with your partner, the caring for your daughter, the emotional, you know, all of that stuff? Is it possible you could do a better job of that without this fear this story that 5G could be the demise of the human race?
Oh yeah. Yeah. If I didn't believe it, I wouldn't. I could do a better job. Yeah.
So we're going into, we've very gently moved into question 4. So question 3 was, how do you live your life when you believe this? And question 4 is now, just take a few breaths and just imagine, like, how would it be if it wasn't possible for you to believe this thought, 5G could be the demise of the human race? How would it be without that thought?
I think
just notice in your body, first of all, just notice the sensations. How's your heart? How's your stomach? How's your breathing? How are you in your body without the thought?
It relaxed. My body is completely relaxed. You said that. I could feel it. Yeah. It was like my body.
So when you share that with me just now, I can feel all the goosebumps again. I feel the energy moving in my body. When you say, "Hey, I'm feeling relaxed," and other people you may feel aversion. You know, the body
you're
relaxes.
Breaking up there.
I'll say it again. Let's see if we can get this working. So, without the story, there's more relaxation in your body.
You're really breaking up there, Dunstan. Can you still hear me?
I can hear you very clearly, but I'm just seeing if I can do something to make this a bit clearer. Is that any clearer now?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. You just really froze there for a while, so I didn't quite hear you.
That's okay. That's okay. I can just repeat. Yeah. I've just.
Oh, you've frozen again. Ooh.
So,
hello?
How's that? Maybe we're back just there. Is that connecting again?
I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you now.
That's great. Okay, so don't stress at all. We just had that on pause. Sometimes this happens with the internet, and I can hear you very clearly. And I think what you were saying was without this belief, you feel ease in your body.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can say.
Oh,
Hello.
Al's just coming in with Molly.
That's perfect.
Hey, Dunstan.
Hello. Hey, Al. Hey, Molly. Now I get to meet
How you
Molly.
doing, my man?
Hey, brother. Good to see you.
You
Hey,
too,
Molly.
man. How's things?
It's Uncle Dunstan in Thailand.
Yeah. Thanks for your great videos. They've been keeping us going.
You're so welcome. You're really so
Yeah.
welcome. I'm so glad that I've been able to connect with people, you know, with that. So thank you.
Yeah. No, really inspiring stuff, my friend.
Ah, brother, be nice to catch up this summer or whenever we can. Be really good to see you guys in
Do you
person.
mind if I go and get the dongle?
Yeah, you get the dongle. Say goodbye to Dunstan and I'll just...
Dunstan, can I just be right back? I'm going to get the
Yeah,
dongle.
of course. Absolutely. Do what
Just
you need
pause
to
it for
do.
1 sec.
And I'll so I might just talk to everyone a little bit about the work that we're doing here. So we've gone through the first 3 questions. So for anyone watching this, we are talking about you know, we're doing the work of Byron Katie, obviously, and I'll just recap those 4 questions. So first of all, is it true? Yes, no. Second question, can you absolutely know that it is true? Yes or no? Now the third question, the basic question is, how do you live your life when you believe that story or when you believe that thought? How do you react when you believe that thought? Now we broke that down into a load of different sub-questions. And the fourth question is, well, who would you be without that story? So that's where we've got to. We're just going into this fourth question. So we're looking at how is it with the belief, and now we're looking at how is it without the belief. And Jess is back, so that's perfect timing.
Hello, I'm sorry about that.
Hi. It's absolutely great. I just did a little recap for people. What, you know, anyone watching the recording can just see how we how the 4 questions work. So obviously that third question has a lot of detail, and we've done a really nice dig into that third question. So we're looking at this question: who would you be without the story that 5G could be the demise of the human race? If it wasn't possible for you to believe that, and you said you'd feel
Yeah,
more
life
at
would be a
ease.
lot. Yes, yeah. I
Yeah.
would feel at ease.
Yeah.
I'd feel happy. I'd feel excited about the future.
And how would you be taking care of your daughter without the belief that 5G could be the demise of the human race?
Much better.
Yeah. And how would your communication with Al be without the belief that 5G could be the demise of the... Yeah. And how would you be at taking care of the practical things you need to take care of, like seeing if there's 5G and putting your boat in a place where you feel safe? And how would you be with all that stuff without?
Without the belief, it would be much easier. Life would be better.
Mm-hmm. And doing your research and sharing information with the right people at the right time, giving and receiving, however that would be, and connecting with other people who are open to talking about it. Like, how would that be?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it would be less frantic.
What I love about this work that we're doing here is that I can actually feel your answers much more than even more than any words you say. You know, the words confirm it, but I can really feel the sense of calmness and ease and just like.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Anything else? How you'd be without the story, that without this belief that 5G could be the demise of the human race?
Yeah, it would. Yeah, make my life and everybody else's life, I'm sure, a lot better. Yeah.
Beautiful. So that's the fourth question, and it's now time to look at the turnarounds, and we're going to go slowly, and we're just going to look at, could an opposite be at least as true? So 5G could be the demise of the human race. 5G might not be the demise of the human race. Could you give me an example where that's at least as true? 5G might not be the demise of the human race. How could that be true?
That could be true, that it's just it is just a communications thing set up for the benefit of people, perhaps.
It's possible that it could just be, yeah, okay. Is there an example that feels more true, that really feels true? 5G might not be the demise of the human race.
It's very difficult. I find that very difficult because I feel like I so firmly believe it that I can't.
Yes.
You know what
Well,
I mean?
let's start with okay. So I mean, we could survive, and we could possibly develop some inner superpowers. We could all start doing loads of detoxing of heavy metals or whatever needs to be detoxed, and we could come to a place inside ourselves where we're so strong that we actually, you know, maybe some of us survive in a good way.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
How about another example? 5G could be the demise of the human race. Well, 5G might not be the demise of the human race.
It might not be the demise of the human race. Oh, I don't know. You're much better at thinking of that.
It's like, well, that's okay. It's like the axe might not fall. You know, it might be, but the axe might fall on someone's head, but the axe might not fall on someone's head. It's possible that it might not happen. You know, it might or might not.
It's possible that it's not powerful enough to penetrate all the trees and things around, so it won't be able to get every single person so directly.
I mean, I might get lynched for saying this, but it might be that all the stupid people that stay near the 5G masts will die, and the people that go on their boat into the countryside far from the 5G thrive. And it's not the demise of the human race. You know, that's just me being devil's advocate here. So it might not be the demise of the human race. You know, can you see where we, you know,
yes,
it could be that countries that don't install 5G or remote places, that you know, people's intelligence relatively goes, I don't know, health or intelligence or something shifts, and who knows? But you know, there could be many scenarios that it might not be.
I feel actually better when you say things like this. It actually, I can feel in my body that I feel better.
Because this is the effect the mind has. Yeah. So you know, you can see how tense, how knotted, how terrible you felt inside your body, just from your mind.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if I can help, that's great. But ultimately, it's the thoughts that are the thought. Each thought has, and it's not right or wrong. It's not to make anyone feel bad if they have these thoughts. You know, the thoughts come, the thoughts go. But when we actually take a look at them, we can just say, okay, well, how am I with this thought? How am I without this thought? And you just, you know, you're taking care of cleaning up the pollution in your body.
Yes, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
Like there could be pollution from a 5G mast. It may or may not be. And it's not your business. What's coming out from the 5G mast is not your business. Where you put your boat is your business.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, however, also the broadcast, the transmission of powerful energy that's coming from the 5G masts, that's not your business. The powerful transmission of energy that's coming from your mental and emotional being, that is your business.
Yes, yeah.
And you can see how quickly you can see what a difference it can make just in such a short period of time. This is the power of the thoughts and the whole thing. So so let's look for another turnaround here. There's a couple more turnarounds here. 5G could be the demise of the human race. What's the opposite of demise? Demise is like, could it be like the elevation?
Yeah.
So 5G could be the elevation of the human race. Give me an example where that's at least as true.
Oh gosh. I'm not very good at this, Dunstan.
That's okay. I can help. I'm happy to help. I'm putting you on the spot. And I know from your human design chart, actually knowing from your human design chart, you're very open in the mind. It's all white at the top and very colored in at the bottom. So you're
really?
Naturally, you live in your, very naturally live in your body, in your feelings, and being put under pressure to think things isn't the great way for you. So I'm happy to help with these.
Thank you very much. It's true. I kind of go really like blank-headed when people ask me things.
You're more receptive in that. You're more open in those areas. So, okay, 5G could be the elevation or the ascension of the human race. Well, here's an example. 5G got us here, didn't it? Doing this work and you learning this way to take control of, to get some awareness around what's happening on the inside level. which may have a positive effect on your daughter. If you keep doing this over time, it could bring you to a place of really calm, emotional inner world that could be even a lot that the emotional communication with you and your daughter, the bonding, the rapport between you could be, we evolve. So it could be far healthier than what you had as a child growing up, because we're moving forward, we're evolving. And the fact of 5G being a thing could be the catalyst for you personally to start waking up or doing inner work or whatever you might want to call it. So this could be the ascension of the human race. Maybe your daughter could grow up with this. You see what I mean?
Yeah, I love that.
And this is where we just take our power back, and it's an inner thing. It's like, that video I did, I don't know if you saw yesterday's video, but I'm like, if God is throwing lightning and thunder at me, and I'm like, okay, bring it on. Come on, what you got? If the universe and the other people are throwing 5G at us, it's like, okay, what you got? You think that's gonna lead to our demise? My demise? Your business is you and how you are with your daughter, not people in China or people in France or something. So can you? So this could be, and it could be the case for other people around the world. Could be, people who previously just had their head in the sand might be like, oh my God, this 5G thing, this is just one step too far. We need to start waking up around this, So it could be the catalyst for people to start saying, well, enough's enough, or,
Yes, yeah, no, that's great. I love that.
5G could be the elevation of the human race. I mean, is it possible that it could be made possible for a surgeon to do a life-saving operation on a human being on the other side of the world, where they both went into that 5G field for a short time to do that thing and then stepped out of the 5G field? Could that be?
I guess it could be, yeah.
Possibly.
Possible.
Mm-hmm. Because it's could, isn't it? We're looking at the possibilities. Okay. So 5G could be the demise of the human race. We've done 2 turnarounds so far. How about 5G? How about this one? My thinking about 5G could be the demise of the human race. Could you go there?
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I like that one.
Yeah. So my thinking about, so when you're thinking about 5G and you're stressed and anxious and you've got a knot in your stomach, if you're thinking that 24/7, the full time, your daughter's emotional bonding, she could be getting an emotional message that's even worse than anything your mother, that's like worse than what you got as I have no idea what your childhood was like, but we're all, I mean, a lot of parents were kind of in that post-war generation where they'd been through all that PTSD, that trauma that the collective had been through. So, so 5G could be,
really
so
that's really true.
You're thinking about 5G could be the demise of the human race. It's easier to see in other people who are the keyboard warriors, where it's like, people attacking each other and going, isn't it? You see that thing where people, people's thinking about 5G is the demise. So it's the demise of communication, because it polarizes people. You've got people who are into the conspiracy theories and they want to tell as many people as possible because they do. And and they're like, you're stupid, you need to wake the fuck up because we're all about to die. And then on the other hand, you get people saying, oh, you're a tinfoil hat loony person, you're just fucking crazy, because their thinking about it is that those are the tinfoil heads. And right there's the demise of civilized communication and open-minded, open-hearted connection. So, but that was nothing to do with 5G. That was the thinking about 5G that we all did. That's created this field of fear that's and that's the if there is a 5G network that is potentially harmful, that may or may not be. I personally think it is, but one thing I know for certain is that the fear frequency that gets transmitted. Like, what if each one of us was like more powerful than a 5G transmitter? You know, because apparently they're real close to each other and they put out a really strong frequency, which maybe does have side effects. I believe it does. However, what if each of us was like a 5G psychic transmitter that was putting out this energy of, are we putting out fear? Could be even more toxic.
You know the London Real David Icke.
Yes, I do.
Episode.
That interview.
I keep watching the end from about 1:38 when he asks David, well, what do you say for you? Everybody might be feeling quite depressed now. So what should we do? And I keep watching that back because I find it so empowering, actually. What he said, we get what we perceive, you know, what we perceive, we experience. And and how I just love how he describes it, and I find it very empowering. So, but it's just I have to watch it every day just to remind myself, oh, hang on a minute, it's what I choose to perceive here will
this
become
is your
my
choice.
reality. This is my choice. It's incredible.
And
I'm really looking forward to hearing the book.
A really powerful part of this is actually just to take ownership and go, hey, you know what? 5G may or may not be fucked up, but that's other people's business. I can't, you know, unless I go and set fire to a mast or something, I can't directly control that. And that's, you know, you're not going to be a great mother if you're locked away somewhere, are you? So you know, so it's like my thinking about 5G could be the demise of the human race. Well, fuck, you know, it's like every day it puts it back on you.
Yeah.
What am I and I know you have awareness already, but you know, it's like, this is full awareness right on your shoulders, and you've got a young daughter. So, you know, you're thinking about 5G, the way you communicate with Al, the way you are emotionally on the inside level, would be the demise of the human race. Wow. That's a different, that gives you a few more choices, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you know, it's not about, and if anyone because, you know, we get each other here, I think, but if anyone watching this, you know, I'm certainly not saying you're to blame for anything, but we are, you know, we do, it's our transmission.
Absolutely. That's brilliant. That's really good. Yeah, I totally get that. I'm going to keep doing this over and over. Can I watch this video over and over again?
Oh, please, of course. And, you know, the other thing, we could do this at some point. We could do some of these other beliefs, you know, read out some of the others. So let's just have a look and see. What we're going to do is we're going to look and see if the charge around some of these other beliefs may have dissolved a bit. I'm feeling like we'll wrap up now because we've done some really good work.
I was just going to say, because Al just asked me if I'd go and take Molly because he's got to go out, but I would love.
He's got to go. Have we got 2 minutes to wrap up?
2 minutes to wrap up, of course. Yeah.
Let's do that. That'll be perfect.
Okay.
So just to say, whatever your beliefs are, these other beliefs or anyone's beliefs, there are the 4 questions, and I'll post the 4 questions again somewhere here. But let's just, could you just read through the rest of your story that you've written down there? Just read the rest of the beliefs.
So the rest of the beliefs were. Okay, so they are going to impose vaccines on all of us.
They're going to impose that. Yeah, keep going. Yeah, thank you.
My baby is going to suffer.
Yep.
All of our freedom has been taken away and will continue to be. And we won't be able to make enough money to survive. These were just sort of random thoughts.
They're very powerful.
Flying out.
They're very powerful when you believe them. Yeah. Yeah.
And also that we'll be banned from connecting with nature eventually. That's a big fear, that we'll be, you know, restricted to all live in cities, and
Do you feel any difference around any of those things just from this piece of work that we did just now? Do you feel any of the others are any different? Yeah. How do you feel different?
I feel more empowered after speaking to you, that I can change these around a bit. I can see how I can do that now, whereas before I couldn't.
You've got the tool, and you can do every single one of these. And what I would say is, like, have you heard me use the expression of being a fear eater? You know, this is like the high level alchemy where God throws lightning at me and a storm, and I'm like, right, I am gonna dance in this storm. You know, this is the warrior's call to action. So another way you could look at it is say, okay, if I'm a fear eater, I'm going to eat fear. And sorry, that was a bit clunky. I'm going to eat this fear, and that's going to inspire me to be more powerful. You know, the worse you throw at me, the more strong I'm going to become.
Yeah.
If you want to check out David Goggins, he has an amazing book, and he is like so on it with the mental game. David Goggins, Can't Hurt Me, absolute master of this technique. He talks about taking soul. Yeah. So it's, if whatever picture works, but if you're a fear eater and there's like, maybe there's like a buffet, a smorgasbord of different beliefs. Yeah. That you've written down, like 5 different, say, you know, there's a pizza, that's the big one. This half the pizza's got this flavor on it. There's a salad, there's a glass of water. And now so far, you've taken a big slice out of that pizza. You've eaten that pizza, and you've done the inner work to alchemize that fear.
I see what you mean.
But there's still other slices of pizza. There's still other things, those other beliefs that are there. And if you need some more support with it, I'm here. So, you know, you've got more to eat when the time comes, and you can have a daily practice of munch. What's up today?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, honestly. You really made me feel so much better.
Oh, you're great.
Texting you out, like despairing. But no,
There's
thank you. Because honestly,
about the connection, isn't there?
It's really good. No, and I'd love to do it again. Maybe we could do it another day when you've got some time.
Yeah, I'd love to do some more of these beliefs, and then maybe other people who, I'm sure people watching this will be like, yeah, you know, we could do it weekly. We could do the work every week. We'll meet up and do some of these different techniques as a group. So thank you for starting that off and being open to doing this, and you know, just being really real and allowing other people, letting us use this recording as well, because I know other people find it very powerful. And it brings out the best in me too when I'm invited to support in this way. So.
Brilliant. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, great. Well, look, I better go because I can hear the baby. But yeah, we'll speak soon, hey?
Much love. Thank you, Jess.
Yeah, lots of love.
Bye.